Claudio Puelles, UFC Lightweight, who is preparing for his next fight on the 4th of December. Claudio, good to sit down. How are things with you in sunny Florida?
Hey, how are you, man? Happy to be here in your program. Things been very good here in Florida. This has been my first year living here, in Florida and in the States. So it's been treating me well. Very good weather, very good atmosphere here at the gym, and I'm happy. I don't think I could have made a better move.
Why the move to Sanford MMA out of all the gyms in the US? Why did you choose Sanford?
I wanted a place to go a state that had like beaches, the sun, all that. And I knew Florida before. I lived here for a couple of years when I was when I was a kid. My other choice was California, but it was very expensive, and I didn't knew many people over there. And here I had friends from the time I was living here, friends that trained, and I had a friend that started training here at Sanford, and I asked him how the deal was over there, and well, I like it, so I decided to try it, and I think I made the right choice.
Perfect. One thing I always think about Sanford, and I want to get your opinion on this, is a lot of the super gyms kind of have a style of fighter. For example, Team Alpha Male have the boxer wrestler type, American Kickboxing Academy with the ground and pound, but Sanford seems to have so many different styles of fight, so many different looks, that for a guy like yourself, you must be constantly improving off other people's styles.
Yeah, for sure. I think we have a little bit of everything. I would say like a little more kickboxing and wrestling. I would think that would be the style of the gym. Of course, like head coach like Henry Hooft, he made us be like very sharp with the kickboxing, but also we have two very strong wrestling coaches. So that's what we do. Like I think most of the days of training here, it's like a lot of like hard wrestling pace and like wrestling drills like all the time. So I think the team is new. So it doesn't have like 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Less even 10. So I think in a couple more years, that style that I'm talking about is gonna be more of like a tendency here. Like you'll see like fighters coming out from here with a style a little more how can you say I don't know how to say it.
You think they'll become a style of the gym, if you like?
Yeah, you're gonna be able to tell that's the style from the gym. That's what I mean.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the last win. You returned in June after a little bit of a layoff and got the decision win over Jordan Leavitt. Couple of months removed from that fight, how happy are you with your performance last time out?
I mean, I was happy. I think I could have got a finish in the third round if I push a little more. I mean, I knew like at the moment, I'm not seeing later. I said these guys are like tired. Like maybe if I push a little, I can get the finish. But also at the same time, I hadn't fought in quite some time. So I played it a little safe. I was like, if I keep doing this, I'm gonna win. So I didn't like push any harder. I didn't want to get caught like in something stupid because the guy was very dangerous on the ground. So I just played it safe. But now that I'm in more rhythm and I feel like I'm in better shape and everything, I think I can push for finishes late in round 2, round 3, or round 4, whatever.
Are you a believer in ring rust? And if so, do you think it affected your last performance?
I mean, my last 3 fights, they all have been like within at least like 12 months of each other, and I have won all 3. So, I mean, it definitely feels you feel better when you fight often, I gotta say. So ring rust maybe a little bit, but if you like do everything right in preparation, you can still get the wins. It's not like you're not gonna win. It's just you may feel more comfortable inside when you fight like at least like 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah. It was 1-on-1 going into the third round of your last fight against Leavitt. Obviously, there was a lot of factors going in, but what do you think was the reason that you were able to push on and get the third round in the bank and win the fight 2-1? Was it your overall skill? Was it Leavitt's perhaps a little bit of gas running out? How do you think you secured that third round, in your opinion?
I think I shut him down after the first round. He probably thought he was gonna in all his preparation, he thought he was gonna take me down and finish me or like hold me down easy. And when he saw that was gonna be hard, he just got tired. Like he spent like all the first round like trying to take me down. That's very exhausting. You can't wrestle like that like for a full round, and a guy like that's defending, and when you get him down, he like gets popped right back up, and like you can't control anything. It gets frustrating and it gets tiring. So yeah, I think that messed up his head a little bit, and I came out like harder in the second round. So I just like put the pace on him and started like breaking him. I think that was the main thing. He's skilled as well. He's good.
Yeah.
I think I may be a little more rounded, but he still got some tricks, and he's very awkward to fight with. Very awkward to fight with, like on the stand up, on the ground, everywhere. So he may not be like, I don't know, the best like kickboxer, but he's definitely hard to deal with.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because there was a lot of ground exchanges a lot of transitions on the ground that were a little bit unorthodox, a little bit strange from both of you. Was it a strange or perhaps a complicated fight in there more than usual?
Yeah, for sure. More in the first round. Like in the first round when we were on the ground, I didn't feel like very comfortable. I felt like, oh, this guy's gonna like brawl for crazy things, and I was prepared for that. But he for sure can cut like some guys off guard and get some like crazy things going on. Like I've seen him before.
Yeah.
But I'm very confident on my ground game, so I defended, but I wasn't comfortable. But on the second and third round, I just like put the pace on him, like put a little more hurt, and I started like getting comfortable on top.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the upcoming fight. As I mentioned, 4th of December, you'll be facing Chris Gruetzemacher. Opinions on his style and how you think you match up against your next opponent?
I think he's a guy that likes walking guys down, like going forward. That's his style. Cause if he tries to stay like long range distance with me, he's not gonna win. So he needs to like try to like go forward a lot and like try to walk me down. He's gonna try. It's not easy, but he's gonna try. He's a tough guy. He can take some damage, but it's weird because sometimes he like takes it good and sometimes he just like gets KO'd. So I don't know. We'll see what happens first in my fight.
His 3 losses in the UFC have all come by finish. I believe 2 is by submission and 1 by knockout. Is there a particular loss that you've been looking at and thinking I can implement something from that person's game and do it to Gruetzemacher?
Yeah, for sure. I've studied a little, and the submission finishes hasn't been so recent.
Yeah.
So I don't know if his ground game gotten any better, but yeah, I think I can finish him on the ground. Like I'm like 100% sure I can, and if I get like a knockout on top on my feet, that would be awesome too. I've practiced everything. Like honestly, like I don't care whatever comes first. Like I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it first.
You mentioned then that you've had a fight within 12 months of the last one for the last couple, but obviously you have had quite pronounced layoffs throughout your UFC career. Does it feel nice to get back-to-back fights in 1 calendar year?
Man, I'm so happy. For the first time, I'm gonna get like 2 fights in the same year in the UFC. Yeah, it has been quite a while since I've gotten 2 fights in the same year. Not even like in the UFC. I mean like outside. So yeah, I feel like that's how it's gonna be from now on. I was like struggle a little with like injuries before, but I'm good now. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the thing now. Just like multiple fights a year.
Is activity one of your goals if you like to stay active and keep racking up wins?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, is activity a key part of your future plans to keep gaining more wins in as fast as you can?
Yeah, for sure. That's something I've wanted for quite some time, but just dealing with like some injuries, like being in Peru was kind of hard. Like they were not giving like enough fights. And the pandemic came when I was in shape and it fucked up my ear. So that's why I made the move here to like, because they were not giving me fights over there, even if I wasn't injured or anything. So yeah, finally we get the more than 1 fight a year. We get the streak going and hopefully getting ranked soon.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Peru, your native country. How often? Obviously, we're still still in COVID times, if you like, with issues around travel, but now you're living in the States. How often do you try and get back to Peru?
I'm gonna try to go maybe every other fight or after every fight. After this fight, I'm not going, but I did go after my last fight. I just stayed there for like 5 weeks. I had some good time. So this time around, I wanna travel somewhere else after my fight. That's why I'm not going. I'm gonna take like a little vacation somewhere else. Need to know a couple more countries in the world. So I don't know. I'll see what I do. But for sure, I always like going back, seeing my family, seeing my friends, the place where I grew at. It's always good to go back.
You're from Lima, is that correct?
Yeah, Lima.
What is Lima like as a city? It's a place I've always wanted to go to, but as I'm sure you can imagine, it's a very difficult place to get to from England. So what is Lima like as a city?
Lima, it's kind of crazy because it has it's like in front of the ocean,
yeah,
like in front of the beach, but how can I say it? Like it has like altitude. Like I'm gonna send you a picture.
Okay.
Like it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of crazy. There's like a big like mountain, and then like the city is like on top of like 100 meters or 150 meters up in the mountain, and the beach is down. So it's kind of crazy. It's weird. It's weird to explain.
Okay. I wanted to talk about Peruvian combat sports. It doesn't look like it has a massively rich history like, say, America or something like that. But who are some of the icons in Peru? Boxers, MMA fighters. Talk to me a little bit about Peruvian combat sports.
Yeah, so might not be like that great in like boxing, kickboxing, or wrestling, but we do have some history. I'm sure we've had some like boxing world champions, not many. But in MMA, at least like talking MMA, we have two guys that were like the first guy in the UFC was Tony De Souza.
Yeah.
It was the first like UFC fighter like years ago, like when the UFC first like started. And then also Ivan Pitbull Iberico, who was my former coach.
Yeah.
And he's like coached me for basically all my fights, all my pro fights until the last one. He did a lot. He was like one of the first like fighters that started going to Brazil to take fights. Yeah. When it was like Vale Tudo, not like MMA.
Yeah.
When it was like Vale Tudo, and like when like people in Peru and all South America thought like it was like crazy going to Brazil because like there were like killers over there, like in the ring. He was a wrestler, so he was going and taking people down and like ground and pounding, submitting them. So he opened up like a way for like all that like Peruvian fighters and like from some countries around us. He made us believe, and yeah. He also like started like teaching us his system, and yeah, he's done a lot for the sport. And also like I started training with him. Like he made a program for me and like many other guys. He brought me to the UFC and like at least like three of my other partners, and yeah, he did a lot. I'm very like grateful to had him as a coach before.
As I understand it, a lot of South American mixed martial artists, they have the big organizations, the big promotions are in Brazil. So a lot of fighters have to travel there to get the fights as they progress on the regional scene. Is that the case? And what was your upbringing like in MMA and on your way to the UFC?
Yeah, so like I was saying, thanks to Pitbull, I didn't have to do that because he was making events. He was like doing like MMA events. He was bringing Brazilian guys. I fought two Brazilian guys when I was 17-year-old, like professional fights. I was 17 and I was like fighting these like grown-ups, and it was pretty cool. Like he brought Brazilian guys, like good Brazilian fighters, and yeah, he was doing big events before, like way bigger than like today. Like today is like not too big because of the pandemic. Like there's not like enough money anymore. But man, before it was crazy. Like I swear, like events got crazy. Like some like good level guys were like, yeah, I was like fighting like at the beginning, like first or second fight in the card. Like level was pretty high.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like you're carrying the flag, if you like, carrying the Peruvian flag for MMA as a man in the UFC? Are you someone who you think you're a role model to for people on the come up in your native country?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Well, as of the moment, I'm the only one, the only representative. So, yeah, and even if I wasn't the only one, I wouldn't mind. I still feel like I carry the flag every time, and I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to represent. I'm happy to give young fighters hope. Like when I was coming up, I didn't have like a role model to look at. Like there was not like any Peruvian fighter in the UFC that I could say like, okay, it's possible. But I still believe it was possible. It's like I still believed it was like a thing I could achieve. So yeah, I just like did it like my own thing, like my own like path, of course, with the help of like coaches and like the guy I'm telling you and everything. But
Yeah.
it's easier now. Like for people, like they see me, I'm doing good. They see like you can do it. And there was also like I had some previous partners that were in the UFC before, not anymore, unfortunately. But you know, it's possible. Like kids nowadays, like they see us and they for sure like see this as a something they can do for life.
Yeah, well, that's a brilliant way to lead into my final question, and I want to ask you for a very quick prediction. What happens when you're locked in there with Chris Gruetzemacher on the 4th of December, Claudio?
What happens? What's gonna happen?
What happens? Give me a prediction.
I'm gonna get the win. I'm gonna get the win 100%. Like I said before, whatever comes first. Like I'm training for that. I'm training for like the worst case scenario. Like I know he's a tough guy. He brings it. So I'm gonna be ready if it has to go like 5 rounds or whatever. I know it's only 3, but if it was 5, I was ready. And if it's gonna be a 30-second fight, I'm gonna be ready as well. Of course, with me, hand up.
Perfect. Well, I very much thank you for your time, and glad that we could sit down and look forward to seeing you back in action in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. And yeah, I'm gonna be visiting Liverpool for sure, man.
100%. Keep in touch, and when you get over to our shows, we'll be more than welcoming.
All right, man. Thank you.
Before we finish, Claudio, how can people find you on social media?
So you just like type my name, Claudio Puelles. Claudio Puelles, and you'll see the blue badge, so you know it's me.
Yeah.
All right.
For one final question, I give this opportunity to everyone. Anything you want to say, sign off with, sponsors you want to plug, the floor is yours.
No, just like make sure to tune in for my fight December 4th. Thank you for if you're gonna follow and everything. I'm gonna be giving very good fights and getting ready for this next one.